Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivero. Elaine Quijano will be back with Red and Blue in just a moment. But first, all of the results from Monday's Iowa caucuses are now in. The data shows Pete Buttigieg and Senator Bernie Sanders in a virtual tie when it comes to state delegates. Both hold 26%. However, in terms of final choice, Sanders has a slight lead over Buttigieg. They are followed by Senator Elizabeth Warren, former Vice President Joe Biden, and Senator Amy Klobuchar. Let's bring in CBS News 2020 campaign reporter Adam Brewster now. He's in Des Moines, Iowa. Hi, Adam. So, of course, we understand there still could be a recount or a recanvass if a campaign asks for it. But can you help us break down the numbers as we now have them?
So as we now have them with 100% in, former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg has a slight edge over Senator Bernie Sanders in terms of state delegate equivalents. That is how Iowa will award its 41 national delegates, which go to the convention. For some perspective, you need a little under 1,991 pledged delegates to secure the nomination. So just a drop in the bucket in terms of the delegates that you can win coming out of Iowa. And then you had Senator Sanders with a lead in terms of the final choice popular vote over South Bend Mayor, or former South Bend Mayor Buttigieg. Part of that comes from the way it works in these rooms where you can max out your number of delegates, even if you have, certain more people there than others. You can kind of run up the score in terms of a popular vote in areas without necessarily increasing your delegate total.
So close between Sanders and Buttigieg, though, really neck and neck. And do we know yet then how this will sort of break down those 41 state delegates, or is that still being determined?
That's still being sorted out, and we should hopefully get those numbers soon. But again, those 41 national delegates are just, they'll be divvied up among them. Right. And, people will be leaving Iowa with a drop in the bucket of what they'll need. Eventually, those bigger prizes really start to come a little less than a month from now on Super Tuesday when places like California and Texas have their say.
Sure. All right. And so just to reiterate, these are the final numbers out of Iowa, but there could be a recount if a campaign asks for it, correct, Adam? But only if a campaign specifically asks. That's my understanding. Is that correct?
Right. The party rules say it has to come from a campaign. Earlier today, DNC chair Tom Perez, called for a recanvassing, and a recanvassing would be looking over those math sheets, basically doing the work that the state party had been doing, looking over numbers to verify them since Monday night. Shortly after, the state party chair put out a statement saying if a presidential, campaign asks for one and provides, sufficient evidence for why they would need one, we are, willing and able to do that. The party rules have said that the deadline to request a recanvass or a recount would get into some of those preference cards that they added this year where people wrote down their first and second choice, is tomorrow.
All right. So once again, Buttigieg and Sanders neck and neck at the top there, followed by Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, and Amy Klobuchar. Adam Brewster in Des Moines, Iowa, thank you so much for that update.